My next guest is taking the skills he learned in the cockpit as a fighter pilot and applying them to lessons for executives in the boardroom. Joining me now for this week's Small Business Big Ideas is former Air Force pilot Jim Murphy, founder and CEO of Afterburner. Thanks for being with us, Jim.
Great.
Now, your firm, it's in business 16 years. You've advised 30% of the Fortune 500, Bausch & Lomb, Cisco, Honeywell, J&J. What possibly could those executives at those companies take from military environments you grew up in?
It's a great question. One of the biggest things that we teach is a process that we call flawless execution. And although in today's rapidly changing, challenging, and maybe some of your viewers would even say business world is almost hostile, it's not about perfect execution. It's striving towards that flawless outcome. And we know there's a process around that, taking the strategy of a company but breaking it down and looking for execution gaps and using a disciplined process of planning, briefing, executing, and debriefing to close those gaps.
From a military standpoint, what is the thing that business people get wrong most of the time?
Well, one of the things is the continuous improvement aspect of business, staying one step ahead of the competitive rate of change in their environment. And that not only happens in the strategy or the beginning parts of planning, but what happens immediately following your execution when you're finished with the mission. As a fighter pilot, we go into a room, we rip the rank off of our shoulders, the name tags off of our chest, and we have a nameless, rankless debrief, where we look at what we said we were going to do in the plan based on the results, and we look for gaps. And the purpose of the debrief is to eliminate the barriers of open communication and focus on what we said we were going to do.
You know, a lot of, testosterone-rich CEOs like to say, business is war. But it sounds like the way you approach it is this is no room for passion, hatred, and anger. This is about cool, calm execution. That's
right. And it's about planning for that cool, calm execution, not only having a clear mission objective that supports the overall strategy.
Now, this is your 6 steps, right? Yeah.
Well, that's right, but the last
objective.
step is all the way down to asking the what if, planning for contingencies. And if you already plan for what possibly could go wrong, that probably exudes that coolness you were talking about.
And you also said we got to identify the threats, identify your resources, evaluate lessons learned. There's always that debrief also you talk about in your so-called flawless execution cycle. Now, this has been good when you advise these big fish, and you were advising KKR just the other night, you were telling us in the green room. But can this work for smaller businesses and regular kind of little guys?
Absolutely. I mean, we even applied it to the New York Giants last year, which was a great opportunity for our company. But we've just recently franchised Afterburner. So the whole purpose of that is to enable the veterans coming back from the military right now, which is almost 3 million veterans or folks in uniform, if you include the Guard and the active duty. These are great men and women that exude entrepreneurism. And we're setting up Afterburner in local metropolitan areas and giving them these services and products so they can prosper at the local level.
That's fantastic. And you know what? Huge error on my part, Murph. I did not start with the New York Giants. You advised the New York Giants in their Super Bowl season, and now they're kicking butt so far early this season. What did you tell them? What was the single thing most important for that?
Well, as you know, Coach Coughlin is a great coach, and it's just a wonderful organization, and we had the opportunity to work with them mid-season last year. One of the things Coach Coughlin said is, I want you to really focus on the nameless, rankless debrief. When you have a veteran like Justin Tuck and you might have a brand new rookie, they may be hesitant to freely admit their mistakes after the film review, in a debrief, if you will. And because players weren't admitting their own mistakes at the grassroots level, they were repeating the same mistakes all over, enterprise-wide or team-wide. So by teaching them how to create a nameless, rankless debrief, do root cause analysis at the player, not just the coach down level, they were able to expose some things that were going on in their defense, which really helped them.
All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate you being here. Jim Murphy with Afterburner.